Hi, guys. I would like to talk to you a little bit today about who I am and the way that I got started into writing and what caused me to write this last book that I'm sure a lot of you've already seen, Soul Family 6. You know how clear that is. But a whole lot of things happened leading up to that writing of that story. And it really started when I went through my spiritual journey. And with my first book that I wrote, it's called My Mirrored Soul in My Personal Spiritual Journey. And it looks like this. I don't talk about it a lot, but it was my first book. And in that book, that's when I discovered that writing and life coaching was something that was a part of me, where I learned that path. I learned that as I worked through my previous jobs. Most of the jobs that I've had in the past have led me to helping people on that path. A lot of people that I've worked with came to me for advice. And I realized, that there are several ways that I can help people on their path. But when I went through my spiritual journey, I went through the dark night of the souls, where I just pretty much went into hermit mode, basically, where I didn't really socialize much. When I went through the dark night of the souls, I went through the dark night of the souls, and I wrote about it in my first book. And at the same time that it was at the same time that my love interest and I were going through a separation. At the same time, my father was very ill and passed away. All of this happened within months of each other. And during that time, that's when I realized what type of relationship I was in. And it was somebody that was mirroring me. And some of you may have heard of it as a twin flame, but I call it a mirror soul. Either way, we were mirroring each other. We were. And in the time we were separated, in the book I wrote about how the telepathic messages were coming through very strongly. That's when I realized what I was on. And I knew everything that was happening with him. Everything. And I even knew that he was going to come back, because Spirit told me that he'll be back. And I got all kind of messages during this time. So I realized this was a powerful connection. And it also helped me to focus more on things that I needed to do. And part of that came from me writing. And this when I wrote My Mirror Soul, because during the time I was going through it, I was recording everything. And when I was recording everything, I said, once he comes back, I'm going to make this a book. And when that time came, I did. And when I made it into a book, everything that I recorded, I lost. So I had to ask Spirit to help me to remember things that happened on my path. And this one, I remembered how much I love to tell stories. And he reminded me that, you used to do this all the time as a kid. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And that's when I realized the love and the passion was still there for it. And that's when I kept writing. And I kept having dreams to create something. It was around Thanksgiving of 2023, and I decided to write Soul Family 6. And it stemmed from me meeting people on my path that have the same soul urge number as me. And mine is a soul urge 6. And so are some of the others. And in the writings, a lot of the characters that's in it, even though it's fictional, are similar to some of the people that I've come across on my path. And some of the experiences too. Even though those experiences can be fictional, it's similar in a way. And that's how I began my writing. So basically, I've been writing for about a year, but I've always wanted to create stories, but I never imagined that I would be writing them. I know I always liked reading, and I always liked um, telling stories, but I just never ever thought that I would be writing a book. Not only did I write a book, I wrote four. So, but that's just a little bit about my background and where I came from and what even started this writing journey for me. And it's something I'm really passionate about. And if you dive into a lot of my stories, they are like fantasy or maybe even paranormal, but they're mysteries in it and thrillers. I love plot twists. So any book that you ever pick up from me will have a lot of different things happening at once in it. And I love those type of books. So if those are the types of books that you like to read, you I'll have a link below where you can purchase it. And I wanted to kind of tell you about a current book that I'm reading now. It's paranormal, and I have it on my Kindle. And Maggie Tinswell, she's an international author, and she wrote about paranormal romance. And you know I want to read that because it's talking about, see, she got two books that I got from her: Dangerous Dead Husband and Jealous Dead Husband. So you know I gotta know about that, you know. But I mean, that's just a little bit about me. So if you are that type of reader where you enjoy thrillers, mysteries, a lot of action, hey, I'm your girl. Thanks for your time, guys.